Hi guys, so this is your assignment for today. The top here is an example FRQ prompt. You might see something like this on the AP exam. So it'll give you some background information on the rhetorical situation, and then it's going to give you a task. Write an essay that analyzes the rhetorical choices Biden makes to convey his message. We're not actually going to write the essay today. We're not even going to read the whole speech. We're just looking at excerpts, but that's just an example of something you might see. For your directions today, you're going to look at each excerpt and replace the generic and oversimplified response in this column about ethos, logos, and pathos with a more precise, more thoughtful rhetorical analysis of that appeal. So your response, your fixed response, should not contain the words ethos, logos, and pathos. If you haven't already watched the video from Tim Freitas, please go back and do that first so that you know exactly what I'm talking about here. So the first one is done for you. You can read this excerpt from the speech right here. The original answer says the speaker uses ethos, but we don't like that. That's so vague. It's not precise. What kind of character is he trying to build, or what kind of authority is he trying to convey, or what kind of values is he trying to make a connection with his audience on? It's not vague. It's not precise enough to just say ethos. So here's my fixed response. Biden appeals to his American audience's sense of patriotism and their reverence for Abraham Lincoln by comparing himself to Lincoln. Lincoln ended slavery and brought the country back together again after the Civil War, and Biden is comparing that to the work he has to do with promoting racial justice and uniting a politically divided population. Biden also presents himself as a consummate American by displaying his knowledge of and respect for one of our greatest historical figures. So basically, he's saying in this passage, like, look at what a great example of an American I am. Look how knowledgeable about our foundation and our history I am. Look how much I respect these great figures in our history, how much I aim to be like them. So that's how he's building his character. That's so much more precise than just saying ethos. And it also has a connection to the values of his audience, right? That he knows he's speaking to a bunch of Americans on Inauguration Day. So he knows the sense of patriotism that they have is elevated today more so than any other day. And he knows that they also respect and revere Abraham Lincoln. So he's connecting with them on their values as well. That's also part of ethos. So you can see the big difference between the fixed response and the original one. So take a second, pause the video, and read through this next section here. It's 2 paragraphs. Trying to find logos. When you're trying to find logos, think methods of development. Okay? So read this and pause the video. Trying to find methods of development. So hopefully you paused the video and you were able to read through that and you tried to find methods of development, specific examples of logic and reasoning in that excerpt. 2 things that stand out to me in this particular excerpt are his use of examples as evidence and his use of cause and effect method of development as well. So that's not the only things you could say necessarily about this excerpt, but those are the 2 things that stood out to me. He's using these examples of the Civil War, the Great Depression, 9/11, all of that stuff, all these historical references to support his claim that we can do that now, right? We can persevere through the difficulties that we are experiencing. So that's his claim. We can persevere. We can do this together, right? What is his evidence to support the claim? Those are the examples from history. So if you're thinking of a method of development, that's the argumentative method of development, claims and evidence, right? Mixed with exemplification too, because he's using those specific examples that are very, very kind of vivid and meaningful in our history. Down towards the bottom, he has cause and effect, right? Without unity, there is no peace, no progress, no nation. If we don't have unity, then the effect is no progress, no peace, no nation. Later on, he does the reverse. If we do have unity, then we will not fail. So cause and effect for both ways, the cause of having unity and the cause of not having unity. So moving on, there's a pathos, an ethos, and a pathos. Pick 2 of those boxes to complete. You can leave one of them blank, but think about how to specifically analyze pathos. What specific emotions is Biden trying to evoke? And when you're talking about ethos, what specific character or specific values is he trying to evoke again or create with his choices in this excerpt? Okay, specific stuff. You should not be using ethos, logos, and pathos anymore. All right, good luck to you.